The tragic death of Hind Rajab has not only exposed the brutal realities of war, but has also ignited a debate on media ethics, particularly in the case of one of the biggest media houses. An Indian origin journalist, Karishma Patel, who had worked with one of the biggest media house for 5 years, resigned from her position, citing the network's biased handling of Hind's story as a breaking point. Patel's resignation sheds light on the deeper issue of editorial choices and the global media's approach to reporting on conflicts, particularly those involving Israel and Palestine. Hind's final moments were nothing short of horrifying. Trapped in a car with her deceased relatives, she was subjected to relentless gunfire from Israeli forces. Reports suggest that nearly 300 bullets were fired at the vehicle, leaving her the only survivor for a brief period. However, one of the biggest media houses' initial coverage of the incident was widely criticized for downplaying the severity of the attack. Social media erupted with outrage, with one LinkedIn user describing the media house's reporting as shameful. Audio recording of that 6-year-old desperate cries for help circulated widely, exposing the disconnect between the actual events and how the media house framed them. The chilling phone calls between Hind and emergency responders reveal a desperate child begging for help. In the recording, the woman could be heard whispering, "They are shooting at us. The tank is next to me." When asked if they were hiding, she responded, "Yes, in a car. We are next to the tank." Moments later, gunfire erupted and horrifying screams followed. Hind's aunt, uncle, and 3 cousins were killed instantly. After that, Hind survived the initial attack and made several desperate calls for help. Her voice was pleading for help. She said, "Come, take me. Will you come and take me?" Well, in response, the emergency responders tried to assure her, promising that rescuers would arrive soon. The Palestinian authorities responded to Hind's distress call by dispatching an ambulance. But tragedy struck again. Reports claim that Israeli army targeted the ambulance, killing both paramedics sent to rescue her. The PRCS accused Israel of deliberately striking the vehicle despite the rescue operation having been cleared with the Israeli military. Hind, along with the paramedics who came to save her, was ultimately shot dead. However, the Israeli military denied any involvement, stating that their forces were not in the area when the attack occurred. However, for Karishma Patel, this tragic incident and its coverage became the final straw. In her column for the media house, following her resignation, she revealed that she had repeatedly pitched Hind's story to her editors at the media house, but they initially refused to publish it. When the story was finally covered, it was presented with questionable language. Instead of acknowledging that Hind had been murdered, the media house used the term "found dead." When social media users quickly pointed out the nature of the terminology, arguing that it is not showing the reality of what exactly happened. Additionally, the media house included a note in its article stating that Israel has previously accused Hamas of using ambulances to transport its weapons and fighters. This was perceived by many as an attempt to justify the attack on an ambulance that had been dispatched to save Hind. Patel argued that the media house's handling of Hind's story was not an isolated case, but rather part of a broader pattern of editorial bias when covering Palestinian children affected by the conflict. She pointed to the network's controversial decision to pull the documentary Gaza: How to Survive a War Zone. The documentary, narrated by a 13-year-old Palestinian girl, was removed from the media house's programming because she was related to Hamas officials. Patel criticized this decision, stating that instead of outright removal, the media house could have retained the documentary with an appropriate disclaimer. She believed that this was another example of network avoiding the uncomfortable truth that Israel's actions were harming Palestinian children. The media house's editorial choices have been scrutinized before. When the house's director general were questioned by the UK Parliamentary Committee about the removal of Gaza documentary, they defended their decision by citing serious flaws in its production. While Patel acknowledged that the media house had admitted to some errors, she remained critical of the organization's broader failure to maintain editorial integrity when covering Gaza. She joined over 1,000 signatories, including well known figures, in signing an open letter condemning the network's decision. Throughout her career at the media house, Patel became increasingly frustrated with that she called a shocking level of editorial inconsistency. She argued that media outlets must be brave enough to acknowledge the truth rather than treating all the perspectives as equally valid when evidence overwhelmingly supports one side. I'm about to make a bold claim. Truth exists. That's what Patel stated, adding that editorial bravery is the key. Adding to her, when media organizations refuse to acknowledge a clear violation of human rights and international law, they contributed to the spread of information and allow bad faith actors to manipulate public perception.